I'm trying to get my physical TBR down. So naturally, we have a book haul. Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing amazing. So I have been a little bit naughty and I have somehow bought some new books. I mean, I say somehow, I actively went into the shops, 3 shops if we want to get precise. I went to Adsa, The Works and Waterstones and I bought some books. I know. I'm trying to get my physical TBR down to 150 books. I'm currently on 237, but I've just kind of realised that's not going to happen this year. Like, I physically can't do that with the amount of books that I read each year. It's not going to happen. So I just thought, just buy some new books. I just had an itching to buy some new books, and that's exactly what I done. Ironically, the book that I went to get wasn't there. So I actually wanted to go into the works and I wanted to buy A Dance of Lies, the sprayed edge version, because it's so gorgeous. I have no idea what the book is about, but I saw those sprayed edges and I was like, I need it. But clearly everyone else in my vicinity needs it too, because it just wasn't in any of my local works. And then I also wanted the Hot Shot Sky Ridge, the sprayed edge versions in the works. I believe now I've found out they're also in Tesco's, but I'm kind of semi-successful on that one. And then I started my one book and I couldn't stop myself. And the last time I actually bought a whole bunch of books was in September when I was on holiday to Ireland and Scotland. So I feel like I've done well. We're now in March, that's 6 months. So I've not had a book haul for 6 months. So I'm just going to allow it. I'm going to allow myself this. Now, I personally never put myself on a book buying ban because I work really hard for my money and this is kind of my one vice. Like, I don't really drink that much. I don't have nights out. Like, this is the one thing that makes me happy. But considering I was trying to get my TBR, physical TBR, down to 150, I kind of put myself on like a don't buy this book unless you really, really need it and you're going to read it straight away. I never read the books I buy straight away. It's so strange. I always like to read the books that I've had on my shelf for quite some time, and I need to change that. Like, I feel like I need to give my opinions on new releases and things like that. So that might change, but long story is, I don't put myself on a book buying ban and this happens. So without further ado, let's just crack on with it and let me show you the 13 books that I have purchased. So book 1 is actually one that I've already read before. It has been on my Kindle and I desperately needed a trophy copy. The reason why I needed a trophy copy is because this is my all-time favourite book. If there is one book that I could recommend to you, obviously check trigger warnings, but it would be The Great Alone by Kristin Hannah. This book, I cannot tell you how much I love this book, and if you have not read it, please do, because I just feel like you will not be able to put it down. This is essentially a coming of age story of little Lenny, and she basically is upped and shipped to Alaska on her father's request. I say request, it's actually a demand. Her father has just returned back from Vietnam War, so he has quite bad mental issues, but her mother, she listens to whatever her father says, and actually they have quite a volatile relationship. So during this time, Lenny's in Alaska, she's finding out there is such a good sense of community, but also the conditions are so harsh. Obviously it's freezing cold, they have to forage and hunt for their own food, they have to create their own warmth, but along the way Lenny also finds Matthew, and Matthew makes Lenny believe that there is a brighter future ahead. And that's all I'm gonna say. This book is gonna make you feel all the emotions. It's gonna make you happy, it's gonna make you sad, might even potentially make you cry. It's such a stunning book. It is beautifully written. I cannot express how much I love Kristin Hannah. I know she gets a lot of love because of The Nightingale and The Women, and don't get me wrong, The Nightingale was a 5-star and The Women I rated 4.5, like, she can do no wrong. This book has my whole entire heart, and that is why I had to get a trophy copy. And I actually love this cover. I think they've obviously rebranded it to match the cover on The Women. What I don't like is this permanent sticker to say, oh, read The Women. Ideally, what I do want is I want special editions of all Kristin Hannah books because she is my favourite author. I love her. So that's my plan. I actually got that in Adsa over here, which is a UK supermarket. So let me go through all the ones that I bought there. So The Great Alone was actually on a deal for like 2 for £9. And the other options, there wasn't really anything that was jumping out at me. But I did see Swept Away by Beth O'Leary. Now this has been on my wish list for quite some time. I read The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary and I absolutely loved it. It was a 5-star for me. Read that a couple of years ago. I have to say about 4 or 5 years ago, a very long time, but I absolutely adored it. But I did read The No Show by Beth O'Leary and I wasn't wholly impressed. So this is kind of gonna be a decider for me. At the bottom, it says Lost at Sea with Your One Night Stand. So I'm assuming just a cute little fluffy romance book, which, you know what, we're always in need of a cute little fluffy romance. So I thought I'd buy that and take it off my wish list. So that is book number 2. Another paperback I bought in Asda was The Rebel Witch by Kirsten Cicerelli, and this is obviously the sequel to The Crimson Moth. I loved The Crimson Moth, but I have it in paperback. So I have been patiently waiting for this to come out in paperback. And guys, I mean, I know I've said this before, but it really annoys me. Why do we have to wait for so long, like a year, just to read a book in paperback? It does my head in. It really does my head in because they know what they're doing. They know you're going to have FOMO and you're going to buy the hardback. And then because it doesn't match, you're then going to buy the hardback in the first one. But I didn't fall for that trick this time. I've waited for the paperback. But I have to say, I'm so excited for this. I might even try and put this on my April TBR. I'm so eager to know what happens and I'm so eager to know how this duology finishes. So yeah, that's the 3rd book I bought. And also, if you've not read The Crimson Moth, I highly recommend. The last 2 books I bought in Asda were actually hardbacks. And if you are not going to Asda for your hardbacks, you are missing out. These were £9.98. Under a tenner for a hardback. Like, it's absolutely insane. Please don't sleep on Asda. But the first one I got was The Night Prince, and this is the 2nd book in the Wolf King series. Is that what it's called? I don't actually know if that's what it's called, but the first book is The Wolf King. This is the 2nd book. Now, I've recently read The Wolf King. I done my review in my last wrap up and I did rate it at 3.75. So it's not the best rating, but my God, I could not put The Wolf King down. I was hooked. I don't know what was in there. Like I was hooked. I could not stop turning pages and therefore I had to pick up The Night Prince. The Wolf King is in hardback, so this matches. Again, I would quite like to read this soon. Maybe I might put this on April's TBR as well. How am I going to do my TBR in April to try and get free reign so I can just pick the books I want? And then the next and final book I bought from this store was Meet the Newmans by Jennifer Niven. And not only, again, is this £9.98, under a tenner, it also has the sprayed edge. I've been seeing this one floating around. I love the cover. There is something about this cover that draws me in. And then I saw that they had the sprayed edges under a tenner. It would be rude if I didn't buy that. It would be rude. So for this one, we have a family in the 60s and they are basically one of the most watched family shows of their time. And I think they're in the middle of writing kind of their final episode for the series, but unfortunately someone in the family has a tragic accident which puts a halt to that. But then the wife then hires a reporter to basically mock up the final episode, but in the perspective of the woman from that time. This is kind of sort of given me a vibe of Lessons in Chemistry for me, which was a 5-star read, and therefore I really have high hopes for this. I have such high hopes. Dare I say 5-star prediction? I mean, I don't want to say that because I said that about Hamnet and look how that turned out. The next shop I went to was Waterstones, and actually I was quite well behaved in Waterstones, I have to say. I only bought 2 books and they were on buy one get one half price. But the first one I bought was Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, and I've just been seeing this one everywhere. I actually have no clue what this is about, but a lot of the YouTubers and TikTokers that I highly recommend their recs have all given this 5 stars. So obviously I had to pick it up. I really don't like this cover. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the colours. It's a bit dull. I'm saying it's a bit dull. I'm always in dull colours. Like, I'm always in black. I'm never in bright colours, but I don't know. There's something about this I don't like. But I've just seen it is also blurbed by Emily St. John Mandel. Now, she wrote Sea of Tranquility. Again, 5-star read if you've not read that book. It is so good. So I don't know if these blurbs are actually legit or not. I always second guess when authors write kind of a little note on the front of the book or on the back of the book, but the fact that her name's on it, I take it as a plus. So that is the first book I bought in Waterstones. The second and last book I bought in Waterstones was The Spies of Heartlake Hall by R.L. Graham. Obviously, I did say this was buy one, get one half price. I could have just left with Wild Dark Shore and saved like £4 and, you know, not bought another book. But again, that doesn't make sense, does it? I might as well buy another book for half price. So nothing was really taking my fancy until I saw this one. I believe it's kind of like a cozy mystery, but the only problem is this is the second book in the series. So it most probably does mean I will have to buy the first book. I do actually think this is a standalone within the series, but I'm very particular. If it's a standalone or connected, I just like to read the first book first. It seems like it's a cozy mystery. It's historical fiction as well because it's set in London 1917. So I just thought this would be a really fun read, and why not check it out? Again, I did look at the Goodreads reviews. They weren't the best, but I read the blurb. It's set in the First World War, and I just thought, it sounds up my street, so why not buy it? So that's exactly what I did. The last stop I went to was, of course, The Works. The Works is the whole reason why this book haul happened, and like I say, the whole reason why I went there is to get A Dance of Lies. I went to 2 different Works near me, and there was literally not a single copy left. I could order them online, but I just get really paranoid if they come scratched or bent, or, you know, the pages are scuffed. I am one of those people that looks for the best book out of the bunch. I have actually been in the Works before, and I've looked at about 15 copies to see what the best book is. I've held people up, and I'm so sorry to those people, but I really do. I just like a nice, clean, crisp copy of a book. But the other series I went in there for was the Sky Ridge Hot Shots series, and that is the series with the firemen on the cover, and it has those sprayed edges. Yes, these sprayed edges. You must have seen these everywhere on social media at the moment, but it was kind of semi-successful because I only managed to get book 2 and 3. So I am going to take that as a win. Again, I need Fight. I need the first book, and I'm not going to read these 2 until I've read Fight. So should I have really purchased these? No, I could have waited until I purchased Fight because I'm not going to get to these anytime soon. But they were just staring at me. But you know what? Life is too short, and I need firemen sprayed edges on my bookshelves. So that's my reasoning. I hope you all agree. The next book I purchased was Daffodil Darling Farm by Brittany Nicole. Now, this is a spicy cowboy romance. It is the sprayed edition version, and I can't lie, I'm not a massive fan of these sprayed edges, but I have heard amazing reviews, mainly on TikTok. So I just thought, again, it looks really cute. This looks very spring coded as well. I don't know if this is a standalone. I hope this is a standalone because I might even read this. I was gonna say, I might even put this in my April TBR, but I've put everything else in my April TBR. But I would quite like to read this as like, I don't know what it is. I'm really into my romances at the moment. I never thought I would see the day with me saying that, but I'm really enjoying my romances. So I would quite like to get to this soon. The last 3 that I bought was actually in the free for £7.50, and that recently went up from £3 to £6, and there was quite a lot of uproar. And while, yes, obviously it is annoying when, you know, inflation happens and prices go up, but if you actually sit and think about it, that is £2.50 for a book, and that is absolutely insane when you look at other parts of the world. So I actually think this is still such a really amazing deal, and I'm not gonna bash at The Works for upping their prices, but the first one I got was The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. Now, this has been on my wish list for the longest time. So I added this book about a year ago to my wish list and I've just never picked it up. I don't know, it's just always sat there at the bottom of my wish list. And I saw this 3 for £7.50. I see this retailing on Amazon. I've never seen it below £9. I've got this in the works for £2.50. Do you know how happy that makes me? Like, that is incredible and it is insane. I generally think I'm gonna love this one. This is, I believe, a contemporary romance. It is a second chance romance as well, which I eat up. And I believe our female main character and male main character, they are going to a mutual friend's wedding. And obviously once they're there, sparks fly and it's a romance. You can guess what happens, but I'm so excited for this. And also this is so summer coded. I say summer coded, but this feels like it could also be a perfect holiday read. So I might keep that for my holiday. The second book I bought was Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Now, I believe this is a first in the series. I started my Abby Jimenez journey last year when I read Part of Your World, and I absolutely adored that book. It was older characters and kind of the problems that were arising in the plot felt very mature, which I really appreciate. I mean, I'm coming up to 31, like I need an actual substantial plot. So I thought I'm gonna give this one a go. Again, I've heard mixed reviews. Some people say they absolutely hate it and some people say they absolutely love it. I'm intrigued to see what side I fall on. Now, the final book I bought in the deal, and actually of this haul, is The Fellowship of Puzzle Makers by Samuel Burr. Now, for this one, we have got a male main character called Clayton, and he was unfortunately abandoned at birth and left on the steps of the Fellowship of Puzzle Makers. And this is an institution with some of the sharpest minds, the most cleverest people, and he has grown up surrounded by that. Now, unfortunately, Pippa, who is the crossword compiler, suddenly passes away. But it turns out that she has left Clayton a few puzzles for himself to solve. But what these puzzles may uncover for Clayton is actually the mystery surrounding his parentage. So this does sound quite a cozy read, but it also has the possibility of being quite emotional and make you a wreck. But what is really intriguing about this book is there's actual puzzles in there. So like here, we've got like a little maze, and then let me try and find another one. So we've got 2 there. They're just literally, they're just scattered throughout. We've got one here. Like, I'm assuming they'll make sense once you read the book, but will I be doing the puzzles? Unfortunately, I don't have the sharpest mind. Maybe the maze I can do, but I'm here just for the story as opposed to the actual puzzles. But I am really intrigued by this one. It feels like quite an uplifting read. So yeah, I wanted to buy it. And that is a wrap up of the books that I bought. I bought 13 in total. Could be better, could be worse. I just bought one book and I just felt like, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself, and that I did. What I will say is there may be more hauls on the horizon because it is actually my birthday soon, and if you can't buy books on your birthday, then I'm sorry, when can you? And I'm also heading to America on holiday shortly, so again, I feel like I want to experience Barnes & Noble, but should I experience Barnes & Noble and not buy a book? That just sounds like blasphemy. But on that note, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you so much if you have stuck around to the end. I really appreciate you. If you did find yourself enjoying this content, please do like and subscribe. I would love to have you. I'd love to know if you've read any of the books that I have got in this haul. What ones should I prioritize? What ones did you not like? I would love to know all of your thoughts, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.